Okay, good morning everyone. We will continue from yesterday's class, and today we will finish this essay writing session, and then on Sunday you will be able to practice some essays. Think like that as a practice, not test. If you think like a test, like marks, then you won't able to express freely. Think that as a, okay, we had a class, let's try to practice how we are able to do. And after that, we will be having one more session, then we will discuss about those essays, like how you have written, what was your experience, and how you could have written. So that way our whole this essay writing session will complete. We are having the first understanding about the essay, that is what are the basics of essay, how to write, what are the structure. Then we will be able to practice, and then we will be able to analyze, and then again that understanding will strengthen. So this cycle has to follow, and it is not one time cycle. It has to go till you write your essay in the final exam, right? That means here you are going to get some understanding about the essay, but that's not going to be like the complete, okay, I got everything about essay. That's not possible. Even today I am learning about the essay. These are evolving process, right? So remember the cycle, that you have to understand like what are the requirement of essay writing. Second, you have to practice, then to implement your understanding by writing. Then you have to analyze that, okay, where I am lacking. And remember this analysis will be having two ways of analysis. One, your own analysis. You will do your own analysis. Okay, this was my understanding, and this much I could implement, here I am lacking. But remember, when you analyze by your own, there will be the limitation. So what you need is that one independent evaluator who will be able to see what things are lacking and where the requirement is for the improvement. That way you keep on strengthen and keep on improving your essay writing. As I said in the yesterday's class, it's a skill. That means this cycle has to repeat. Okay, so that way you can improve. In yesterday's class, where we had left is we were discussing about the brainstorming, and along with that we were discussing about the structure of an essay. We had discussed about how one introduction is written, and then we've entered into the body part. In the body part, as I said, UPSC is giving the philosophical questions, philosophical topics that cannot be justified with data. For example, if a GS3 question this year came, for example, what do you understand by the tsunami, and what are the its causes and the impact. This is a static question. This is a scientific question. Such kind of question, justification requires the data, theories. But the philosophical questions requires the philosophical basis. Because the questions like the truth, there is no one answer. There are multiple answers. So when you are justifying something, you have to tell that according to this philosophy, I am supporting this argument. Can you say that okay, only this is truth? No, there is no one truth. For example, yesterday we discussed about this Nepal issue. There is no one side of truth. If you see from the youth side, you will feel that yes, a lot of corruption is there. That's why they are rebelling. Some will support and they will say yes, they are doing the truth. But the other side, the means they are adopting, they will say that no, they are adopting the violence. How can you justify the violence? So that's wrong. That's not truth. So where you will stand? So when you make your argument, whether it is truth or not, you have to justify. Now how you will justify? Based on the theory. You will support, yes, as per the Gandhiji's philosophy, means is more important. So I am justifying, no, they should not adopt the violence. But when you are justifying the corruption thing, since they are doing illegal, corruption is illegal, immoral, they are violating the social contract. So as per the, you can say utilitarian theory or some J.S. Mill or other theories, they are doing right. So what it requires is that philosophy, and that's why in the philosophical essay, if you are writing the plain essay, just like historical example, social example, economic example, no, that's not sufficient. You have to bring the what? philosophical background. And remember, philosophical background need not to be very huge like what philosophy optional people do. No, that much is not required. The basic Buddhism, Jainism, this our religious, whether it is Hinduism, Christianity, Sikhism or other religions are there. Na? Their theories we can use, or we can use our constitution also. And some Western philosopher you will read in ethics. Why? Because in ethics you have one chapter in the syllabus, Indian and Western philosophers. That chapter is there. There we cover around 10 philosophers. Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, and you have J.S. Mill. These philosophers are there. These will be useful everywhere. Any kind of essay you can use them. You can use them. And yesterday I presented also how all essay can be linked with some kind of philosophy which is not a kind of alien to us. We know somehow, or we have to learn little bit, right? So that was the yesterday's class we discussed. Then after you justified that essay from the philosophical background, let's see with the example only that will help us to understand. This is 2025, this year essay only I wrote in one of the test, Abhyas test only. So I was talking about first about the brainstorming, how we do the brainstorming. See, this is the last page of essay, and here I have done the brainstorming. Yesterday I told you have to see the keywords from the broad perspective. Yes, I told this, right? You have to expand that. See how I have expanded. The question was, he who opens a school door closes a prison. Again, he who opens a school door closes a prison. First, you have to see what are the keywords here. He who opens a school door closes a prison. 3 words are there. Now, he means not only the individual. It can be a person, it can be a society, it can be a nation, it can be a world, it can be the family also. If a family is having such a mentality that no, school is not important, let the child work, we will earn, then they close the school door, right? They close the school door. Similarly, a nation who is, if a nation who is not focusing much on the education and they are focusing more on the infrastructure only and the economic development only, they are basically again not opening the school door. So when it is saying he does not mean one individual, that you have to understand. Then only you will be able to think the essay in a broad manner. So here he can be this. There can be other things also. Second, school. Now when you think about the school, are you thinking just primary school? Are you thinking just or the secondary school, or you are thinking just college? That is higher education. No, you have to think primary school, higher education, even the informal education. For example, education of adults which are out of the school. Education of farmers, about the farming, they are not coming to school but still being educated. Education at home. Now there is trend of out of school, home education. Parents are teaching their own child in the initial level. So the point is you have to think that school from the broad point of view, not just one dimension. Then again, when you say prison not only the jail. Prison here you have to think like prison can be the prison which is there inside our mind. Like ignorance is also prison. Like, oh, I know everything. I am good in essay writing. I don't even need any practice also. That is a kind of ignorance. Aristotle once said like, I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing. That means when you are becoming ignorant, that I told in my first class, that mains answer and mains experience hearing, that I was becoming ignorant, thinking that my optional is very good because I was working in the field, I am from the farming background. So I started ignoring that subject, not giving the required amount of effort, thinking that, oh, I am already good. I used to think like the interview, I can do very well because I have work experience. No, I ignored. So the time you ignore things, that was the kind of prison I was going. So that can be the social prison. Like for example, if women are not being allowed to go freely and explore their life, their gender inequality or some restriction with respect to the language or anything. Social, it can be economic prison, poverty is an economic prison, political prison, criminalization of politics is happening, you know that is also can be the political prison. Ignorance, that is self, then the mental stress, global, historical. This is the first exercise you have to do if you have chosen, that is thinking the keywords in the broad way. You are getting what I am trying to say? Are you able to see this? And you will see this how it is being implemented. Once you are done, then it comes the structuring of the essay. See, first introduction. Now, in introduction, what you are going to write? You can write an anecdote. You can write any quote. Here, I decided to start with one quote of Nelson Mandela, that education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. I don't have to write the full. I remember that quote, so just mentioning that much is important here. Here, this is not our actual essay. No? We will write that. Then I told yesterday that I will be giving the present relevance of the topic after introducing. Why this topic UPSC has given is important in 2025. Why I am able to understand you are giving this topic, that means it is having the relevance today. That I should say as a UPSC aspirant, because we are working in the current affairs a lot. So let me tell that present relevance is very important, because a lot of uncertainty there in the world because of war, conflict, these all things, hunger, poverty, climate change, these all things is there. And school door, a bright spot. That is the key word I am going to use. Like school, if you open those school door, we can close this like the conflicts, hunger, poverty, and these kind of thing. That way I am trying to link this with the present. Then I told the third point was the philosophical background you have to give. Now you know that the education have a lot of philosophical background. There are a lot of Sanskrit slokas also, like Jnanam Param Dhyayam or something. You know this? Sanskrit you have studied in schools, right? So some sukti or some slokas are there. You can use that also. And if you talk about the Vedic education system also is there, like the ashram system. They have given a lot of emphasis on the education. Yes, we have the Nalanda, Takshila. These all are talking about the importance of education, isn't it? So that we have the the Indian philosophical background for education. Then the Western philosophical background is also there. Talk again about the Aristotle, who talked that the education is very important. Right? You can use about the recent philosophers like the APJ Abdul Kalam, who has stressed a lot of emphasis on the education. You can talk about who else have talked about the education. Can you give an example? Personalities who have talked a lot of things about the importance of education. Tell me. No personality you are able to remember? Vivekananda, very good. Jyotiba Phule, equality. How to bring equality through education. Excellent. Ambedkar, yes. Actually, Ambedkar is a person who actually used education. He was one of the most qualified person at that point of time. How he changed the whole India's future through that document of constitution. Yes, very good answer. Then, any other? You can use Dr. S. Radhakrishnan also. He was the first Rabindranath Tagore also. You can use. This year in philosophy optional, they asked for philosophy of S. Radhakrishnan also. Savitribai Phule, yes. Please bring the inclusivity. That is one point you should bring. That's a very good example to remind us that the essay should look inclusive. When I say inclusive, that means it should not just contain the example of the men philosophers only. You should bring some examples of the women. You should bring example from some rural areas. In this time is in ethics, I brought the examples. I thought always I am writing the example of IAS officers, IPS officers. This time I wrote examples from Gram Panchayat Sachiv, secretaries, or the constables. They are also civil servants, huh? Why we should write just the IAS officers only, like they are only the contributing for the national growth? No, even the ASA worker who is working in the in the village level, A teacher, a school teacher, primary school teacher is also a civil servant. So let's show that empathy towards them also. Let's show the inclusivity in our answer. That should also reflect in your case studies, ethics, as well as the essay. Here also bringing the example of farmers, bringing the example of tribals, northeastern regions, right? That will also show that yes, you are a person who thinks India as an inclusive country, and not just talking about the top leaders, but also who are at the grassroots level, right? So that kind of changes small changes you can bring in your essay and ethics. Okay, so see here what I brought: Jnanam Param Dhyam, Gurukul system, Takshila. I will bring this example. Second, Western philosopher Socrates, education brings the true knowledge. I will bring the Vivekananda, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Nai Talim. Have you heard in history? You must have covered Nai Talim, that Vardha scheme based on the Gandhiji's Hind Swaraj. They brought this scheme. First 5-year emphasis on the Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. See, here I am also trying to bring a flow. If you see, okay, from history, philosophy, we are coming to the Vivekananda, then we are coming to Nai Talim 1937, and then we are coming to 1951-56 after independence. How we have adopt those philosophies. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan is here coming. Education is the free in the freedom movement, how it was important, and apartheid in South Africa. You know that Nelson Mandela's example, and I have started with his quote also, so it makes sense. Okay, Nai Talim and this thing, education in freedom movement, individual level. I use the Malala example, power of pen. You know the Malala Yousafzai, right? How she stood for education, and that led to coming out of the issue of the terrorism. Then family level, like how education leads to generational change. Right? Here you can use like when you teach one girl, you not only teach one person, but you change the whole generation. You teach whole generation. Like that quotes you can use here. Then at society level, role models, like it can bring the tolerance against communalism. For the nation, I use the quote of Dr. Kalam, like the wings of fire, school gives wings, basically. If you are going to school, basically that will give the wings to you to fly and achieve your goals. And come out of that prison. If you are caged in the prison, in the home, if you are getting educated, if you are sending the child to school, that child is going to get the wings to come out of that prison. Right? You have to link that word. Then I have used one quote also here. Nation, for example, at the national level, economic prison of poverty. If you are developing, if you are sending the child to school, development will happen, then you come out of the economic prison. Political prison, like the criminalization for the vote bank. We come from the subject, as a subject, okay, this is beneficiary, this is from that to a citizen, the role of citizen. So the point here is I'm trying to justify the given quote that yes, if we are opening the school door, it is closing the prison of mind, prison of nation, prison of political prison, social prison, different types of prison. I have justified through philosophy. Yes, I am not telling this. It is being told since the ancient history. It is being proven through our great leaders like Vivekananda. It has been proven during our independence movement. It has not been proven only in our country but also in South Africa. It has been proven after that by adopting in 5-year plan. And it has been proven that in the nation also it is required, in the political sphere also required, social sphere also required, and individual level, Malala proves that. So I established it. Yes, what quote has been given is true. That is the first part you have to do after the introduction. After the introduction, I told in introduction you will give an anecdote and give the definition of what you mean by what you mean by school here, and what you mean by the prison here. After that, you will justify, yes, whatever quote has been given, I totally support that in the first part. Right? So that is going to be the first sub part of your body. But it is not the complete essay. Now you will come, I have divided the subtopic. Now what subtopic you can create for this essay? Yes, you justified. But is it happening in the current world? Is all school doors are open today? or challenges are there? What do you think? Have we able to able to open the doors of school for everyone in our country and in the world? Is it true? No. How you say that? You say basically there are blockages. You know about the ASER report by Pratham NGO, ASER, Annual Survey of Education report. That report says that 50% of the children who are in class 5 are not able to read the class 2nd book. That shows that though we have opened the school door, but the quality of that education is not good. That means still, despite that is opened, they are not able to fly. Why? Because their wings are not that strong. We are not able to empower them to fly properly. So that is also, despite opening, it's not like if you won't give them infrastructure, quality education, they won't be able to fly. So only opening the door is not enough. You have to do more. So basically what I am trying to do here is that I am arguing with the topic now. After proving it, I am countering it. I am talking about the other dimension, and that is the essay. You have to talk from the different dimensions now. You can question many ways. First question is that yes, you are saying that it's okay, but opening the door is not enough. You have to do more. There are blockages to open the door also. Talk about Afghanistan exam. They closed the door for the women education. You know that, right? Taliban closed the door for women education. Forget about the quality of education. They don't even want to give education to women. Give example that one. So there are not like the education door is open, door of school is open. First of all, blockage is in opening the door. When we are opening the door, the quality of education is not there, infrastructure is not there, teachers are not available. These kind of issues are there. You can use the example recently in Rajasthan. Have you heard? One school roof collapsed. Children died inside. Recent news. You can use such news. Not only that news only. Next year you will get multiple examples, and that is when you read the newspaper, see these kind of examples. And that's why essay writing classes was important, because now when you see the newspaper, you have to get those quotes, examples which you can use in such kind of essays, right? So that is another example. How? And then you will say that okay, there are blockages in opening the door. When you are opening the door also, then also the challenges are there. Third, you will say that what we can do, so that we not only open the doors of the school, but also bring the quality of education there. What initiative you will suggest? Then the next subheading can be what initiative have been already taken by the government. You can talk about by government, by the world at the global level, what UNESCO is doing, what the UNICEF is doing, that you can talk. You can talk also at the state level, any initiative. You can talk by the non-government organization also, like the NGOs, whatever, like the Pratham NGO or some, you must be aware, Teach for India is one of the NGO which works here in Hyderabad also. So that way you can bring the dimensions to your essay. So here I have talked about the blockages in opening school doors. See, I am using the language of the school, language of the essay here. I am not saying just the challenges. I am using the blockages in opening the school door, which is the language of topic given. So that shows that okay, it is related to the topic. I am not diverting my topic. Okay, this is another essay. This is the blockages, family level blockages. At the some conflicts are there, gender issues are there, resource, quality of education, and the costly education is also costly. How to remove such blockages? Opening the door. How to open the door? Resource, we have to use the artificial intelligence also. See, these things are also important. These things are going on. I mean, the artificial intelligence, how to use that to open the school door. And the government initiative, national education policy, Sarat Chandra IAS, some articles of the constitution. Never leave the constitution, okay? Every essay should contains the constitutional background. That is very important. Then lastly, I will conclude through the Amartya Sen quote, like the removing the unfreedom to give power, that you can use any kind of quote or to conclude. Right. So this was the first essay. Similarly, this is the brainstorming of the second essay. You can see the similar way. Now, if you see the actual essay, you will see the exact replica of the plan which I have created. Once you have done that planning, it becomes easy to write. You don't have to think much. You don't have to care about the flow. See, the same thing you will find here. Just we will have the overlook, then we will go back to discuss this. See, I told about the quote, Nelson Mandela. Then I explained the quote. This is called as the contextualization of the quote. This powerful statement by Nelson Mandela signifying the role of education, thus the school, which impart that education in closing the prison of ignorance, apartheid, discrimination, and the unfreedom from the world. You can use the simple words also. I tried. Again, when you start the essay, I have again started that quote by saying that he who opens the school door closes the prison, signifying the role of school education system in human development. School may not necessarily formal school system, but also includes informal learning. That is, I am broadening the meaning of school here by explaining that. Right? That I told there also, right? So that is the reflection, such as the family schooling, extension education for farmers, elders, etc., as well as other means of education. Similarly, such education is not only important for individual but also for the family, society, nation, entire globe. So that he word I am expanding, not only the individual but also for the other. Then in the similar interpretation, the term prison can be interpreted as individual ignorance, social barrier. So this is the way I am defining the meaning of prison. Okay, this is the meaning of prison, particularly national level, security issue, poverty, terrorism. So basically I am giving a hint that I am thinking the essay from the broad point of view. See, here I have given the importance of given topic increases in the present context when the world is going through a turbulent period. Recent World Bank Global Risk Report 2025. This is the value addition. Not, if you will do this kind of value addition, it will create. And these things you will definitely get these things once you complete with your syllabus. Whether it is poverty, climate change, conflict, mental stress, terrorism, these all things. School door can be the bright north light. You remember I have mentioned one phrase there. School can be the bright spot. So here I am using that. It can be building a new, the school door can be the bright north light, working towards which we can close these prisons. See, one thing, whenever you are writing, the examiner should never feel that the student is deviating from the topic. How you ensure that? By mentioning the words, keywords of the essay again and again in the different locations. So if you read these 2 pages, and as I told yesterday, if you see your notes, that introduction should be written in how many pages? 2 pages, 4 paragraphs. 2 pages completed. Now if you see in the see here, this is the first page, this is 2 page. I told that every page should contain how many paragraphs? 2 paragraphs. That's not necessary. See, in essay writing, there is no one formula. I'm just giving one reference. But you can innovate. For example, here I have given the definition first, then I have given the present relevance. There is no one formula, okay? You can give first relevance, then give the definition also. So don't be rigid like, okay, I have to follow this only. But I'm showing that what are the key things should be there in the essay. So here you see that the paragraph 1, 2. And number of line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 17 lines are there. And each line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around 5 to 6. Yesterday only I was telling to one of the students, like the one page should contain around 16 to 18 lines. And each line is how many words? 5. On an average 5. Multiply 18 into 5. 90 words. 90 words. So you get in one page 90 words. How many pages we have to write essay? 12 pages. as per the previous stream, because I wrote this before exam. Now I knew that they are giving the 16 pages. But before that I planned this as per the 12 page idea. So 90 words, that means somewhere it will be 90, somewhere it will be 95, 100 or 85 like that. So on an average, I am fulfilling the word limit. It will be around between the 1000 to 1200, right? So when you practice this, you maintain your spacing between the lines such that you cover 16 to 18 lines. Don't go beyond that. Otherwise, it will look very, clumsy or very compressed one. So they are giving this number of pages so that you maintain the proper thing, so that the evaluator don't have to put a lot of stress. They are already in the, have to evaluate a lot of things. So if you will ask them to put more stress, that will be the injustice towards that. Okay. So yesterday I told about introduction. I shown the example. Now you have any doubt here, then you can ask. Then we will go to the body part, how I have expanded that one. Are you able to understand? Yes. I'll show you the different types of introduction also. Like this is the quote based. I'll show the current based anecdote, story making. I have made some stories also to start the anecdote. I have also used the data. So different ways you can start. So I'll show them also. But let's cover one essay so that you will get the whole structure. Any doubt here? Till now, whatever we have discussed about the essay writing. Okay, let's go to the next part. See, opening school door. This is the first part. You saw that I'm now going to prove it. Establishment of the essay. Now, how I am going to prove it? Through using the philosophy. I told like the first I will use the Indian philosophy, Indian ancient philosophy. There in the structure part you have seen that I started with this ancient philosophy, Jnanam Param Dhyayam. I started with this. That as per the ancient philosophy gives great emphasis on, it should be ancient Indian philosophy, gives great emphasis on the learning and education. Is it visible? Last? Should I zoom? Little bit. Okay. Now is it fine? So philosophy gives great emphasis on learning and education, evident in well-established Gurukul system also, like Takshila, Nalanda, the madrasas also I have mentioned here. So that that again to bring the inclusivity. You are not talking about the one religion here. It was considered as means of empowerment, enabling people to live with harmony by following the dharma. These nothing like the new things. These are all things you know. I know everybody knows. Only thing is that I am using it, and who have not practiced will not use it. So awareness, bring awareness in you, like the how you use whatever knowledge you are having here. Similarly, education has been given paramount importance by Western philosophers. So first Indian philosopher, I'm not saying not only in India but also in the Western and other world also they have talked about it. You can also you would have also used Confucius also here, Chinese philosophy. That's also possible. So Western philosophers like Socrates, according to Socrates, education enables individual to reason his spirit and desire, thus helping in choosing moral prison of ignorance. See, these are the phrases through practice it came. But if you will ask me in the first attempt how I have written, I would not have used such kind of thing. This is because of my practice and more number of years, 4 or 5 years, so that's why it came like this. Otherwise, these are not the things which generally come, and don't worry, it will come naturally. That's my point. Moral prism. See, again the point you have to note here is that I am using that word. I'm not at the end when the examiner is reading my paragraph, they should know that I have again not deviated from it. to remind the examiner, right? So this is the philosophical proving establishment of that statement. Okay, in two paragraphs. One Indian philosophy, second is the Western philosophy. And second thing here, what you can observe here is that I'll come to that point later. Then what I'm saying is that such philosophical basis created ground for socio-cultural reforms across the world. See, this is called as the linking of your paragraphs. You can clearly see here flow is there. Why? Because of this first word, first phrase. See this, what I'm saying here is that such philosophical basis, which I have explained in the previous paragraph. So this one phrase is saying that such philosophical basis created ground for the socio-cultural reforms across the world. So it linked the previous paragraph with the further paragraph. Now how it is linking? This part, this one statement. I would have started directly like in Europe, the education led to the ideological fermentation and age of enlightenment, these things. I could have started directly. But if I am starting from this now, there will be lack of connection between the previous paragraph and the next paragraph. So this one line created a linkage between the previous paragraph and the next paragraph. And that way you have to create the flow. It can be one word also, it can be one sentence also, and sometimes we use one paragraph also to link different parts of essay. Right? Here, this statement was such philosophical basis created a ground for the socio-cultural reform across the world. This is a linking line. In Europe, it led to this idea. If you have covered the world history, you know that through education, how they transformed this. Then what happened? Industrial revolution, and these all things happened because of that only, right? So this was the change we have observed. Similarly, then you can go to the next similar enlightenment we have observed. This C, similar. It's again, this word is also what? Linking. Similar enlightenment is observed in 18th century India. During this period, leaders like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Savitribai Phule, these people challenged the prison of social discrimination. Prison of social discrimination like child marriage, polygamy, and these all things. And Nahi Talim. Whatever I have written there in structure, you can observe it is being implemented here. Then after the independent 18th century social religious reform, where I am coming, Free India adopted the learning from the history. See, again this is linking that Free India learned from the history which we taught contemporary world to give importance to education. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, I gave the example, and as well as the 5-year plan 1951-56, along with, see again this is also linking word. Along with the policy initiative which we have taken previously, the importance of education was constitutionalized, and that you see it was done through addition of Article 45 as directive principle for promotion of education. This also you know for these children, and the subsequent amendment also made Article 51A, Article 21A, Article 45 were introduced to strengthen the school as a means of freedom. So here this part, the second part you have observed there, right? So this is the implementation of it. Not only at the national level, but also at the global level, importance of school greatly recognized. It is evident in the adoption of the right to education as a human right under United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, establishment of UNICEF, UNESCO for the promotion of education, and Sustainable Development Goal 4 as universal and the quality education. So this is also things which you know, I think about the Sustainable Development Goal. This initiative from the state to national to international level led to the empowering and awareing the world. At the individual level, what happened? It helped in the broadening the mind at the individual level. Here then come to helps the, not only helps the individual but also the family and generation. Founder of Pratham, I talked about this just now, Madhav Chavan. I know him personally, that's why I wrote his name. Because of working in the NGO. Similarly, it uplifts the whole nation. How Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam says, if a nation has to become a corruption-free and the nation of beautiful minds, I believe there are 3 stakeholders, their father, mother and the teacher. Basically, teacher, the word establishing how education can break the barrier of corruption, communalism, conflicts from the society and nation. So in between also you can use if you have any quote, okay, to justify your point. Basically, I am justifying through the quote of Kalam. The contemporary prison like terrorism, climate change, conflict, these all things. Pahalgam attack also I mentioned, so that shows that the current relevance. IPCC report, 6th assessment report also mentioned true knowledge is required. Terrorism. See, one point here you have to note is that bring the current things. It should reflect that your essay is relevant to the present context. So whatever is happening in the current world, like the terrorism, the Pahalgam attack, whatever happened in the Nepal, these things should reflect in your essay. Right? Don't write just the historical examples, or also the current example. That should also be the thing. Then the blockages in opening the door. I have mentioned here the availability of accessibility, quality. These are all simple points. Universal education also hindered. SR report 2024. Similar quality of education is restricted. These all are simple points like GS points. Just the expansion. Then the opening the doors. How we can open multidimensional approach, new education policy 2020. And the tech driven, AI ready. I'm underlining them so that they see that yes, I'm talking about AI also. Thus, here we can say this is the concluding line, and the use of Amar Sen, as I mentioned there, that remove the unfreedom and gives the power and these things. So this was the essay. Basically, what I'm trying to present here, you prepare the structure, you replicate it. And that's why structuring is very important. That helps you to write these kind of essays. Yeah, one more point you have to note is that, see, to close all prison as envisioned by Nelson Mandela. Why I have mentioned here? Yes, I have started with Nelson Mandela. I am closing with Nelson Mandela. So, if you are able to do that, like the starting with the same story and ending with same story, that closes again the story. It will be the complete story, right? So that also should be one of the key thing of essay. You can do that. Okay. So this was about the all about the essay. I mean the flow of essay, how to maintain the flow. How to create the multidimensionality, how to structure, I mean the different subheadings. So your essay should be having now the body writing. See, any topic you are getting, first divide that into 3 to 4 subheadings. For example, let's talk about that truth knows no color. In this, how you will divide this into broad top subheading? What you can do after the establishment? First, you will establish through philosophy, right? See, some different levels you will establish it. After that, what other dimension you will cover in this? Think about it and tell me now. Here making the subheading will become difficult. But if I'll ask for that 4th essay, it will be easier. That bitter taste question. Here it would be difficult. Truth knows no color. Do you agree with it? Can you counter it? Can truth know the color? Is it possible? You can counter. I mean, if you are having the justification, you can counter also. Do anyone have the counter argument of this statement? No? What about the reservation policy? Does it seize the color? Yes or no? Does it seize like, okay, only women will get 33% reservation in panchayat, men won't get? Is it the looking at the color or not? Yes or no? Yes. Then how you are justifying that? Based on the differential principle of justice. Right? John Rawls have given the differential principle of justice. That means you treat people based on their circumstances. to remove the injustice. That means sometimes color has to be seen in order to bring the equality in the society. Isn't it? Why you are giving the reservation? To remove historical injustice faced by the ST, SC and the other communities. Isn't it? So, in order to remove the discrimination also, sometimes we need to see the color, and based on that we have to establish the truth. So, what I am trying to say here is that you have to counter the arguments, you have to bring the other arguments also. That way, it should not be just you justified and concluded. Okay, so always remember your essay should try to counter the argument, but it should not be like your half part is the just to counter. It should be 1 or 2 paragraphs and then come back to the same idea, because ultimately you have to establish the essay. So what you have to do, listen carefully, every essay has to have the counter argument. After doing the counter argument, you have to re-establish. Having said that, such kind of discrimination, such kind of approach should not be discriminatory. It should not be the arbitrarily you are giving the reservation. It should be based on the justifiable data or justifiable background. So that way you have to establish. Okay, countering the essay should be there in 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs, right? It should not be extended. Then next you will say that what are the challenges currently? Simple, that is the simple. Next paragraph you can, so one is the counter argument. Counter argument should be there. Another would be the, what are the challenges to establish it? Challenges to establish that truth knows no color. Do you agree with it? Is it happening currently? There are challenges or not? Still we see the discrimination against the Dalits. Still we see the discrimination happening, that linguistic vigilantism. Go to the Maharashtra, we see a lot of discrimination happening. Those who are not speaking Marathi, there are violence against them. So basically challenges are there. You can talk about the challenges, social, economic, individual level. Challenges are there to establish that truth knows no color. What is happening with Rohingya? Challenge in the global level. So challenges will come always. When challenges are there, there will be the initiatives taken by the government. Key initiative laws are there so that the truth prevails. SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. Similar acts are there, right? Constitutional provisions you have to mention here. Schemes are there. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. What is it? To promote the equality. So you will talk about the law, policies at the different level, at the national level, international level, state level, local level, non-government level initiatives. Okay, challenges. Here you have to talk about the individual level challenges. So, society level, national level, as well as the international level challenges. Counter argument should be around 2 para and it should be re-established. Re-establishment should be there. This is very important. You can't go with the counter argument. You can't counter your own argument. You are just showing that yes, I also know the counter argument, but I am re-establishing by saying that this kind of argument have limitations. It can't be on the basis of unjustified grounds. So that way you have to counter initiatives. Then you will give the what are the way ahead, what measures you can take. Measures you have to give 3-4 lines, 3-4 paragraphs, right? So the thing is, these are the 4. After what? Before what? Before this, what would be there? Establishment of essay topic. So first you have established this. I have already explained. Then you have to give the counter argument. You have to talk about the challenges to challenges to achieve this. Truth knows no color. Then you have to talk about what initiatives have been taken, what way ahead you can suggest. So you divided your essay mostly in the 5 parts. You can have other parts also, not necessarily. I am giving the very general framework which you can adopt, but you can innovate. You can bring other framework like you can say the truth have multidimensionality. That can be another paragraph, another heading. Multidimensional nature of truth. So you can have that, but that depends from the person to person. But this should be there. Definitely, you have to talk about the challenges. Definitely, you have to talk about counter argument. You need to tell about the what initiatives has been taken. You need to talk about the way ahead. Without way ahead, essay would be incomplete. You're just talking about the problem. What is the solution you are proposing? So these are required things in an essay. You can innovate and bring some other also. Okay. Next. Now someone yesterday was asking to write essays or practice essays. Should we read some novels or some books? Personally, what I say is that everyone should read books. But when you are giving your first attempt right now, it's not feasible. Personally, if you'll ask me, you are attending classes for hours and you have to revise also, you have to practice also. Then when you will get time to read books, that novel and some other books, that's the constraint. So to write an essay, it's not required to read books. Anyhow, you are reading a lot of books. Already you have to read a lot of books. So reading those are not required. I always like to read books, but in 4 years I have not read a single book. Recently I have started to read one book because now I am getting some time. Because I understand things like how mind works during the preparation. Now we are asking you to write essays. If I am sitting there, what thoughts will come in my mind? Why should I write essay now? I have not completed my syllabus. I don't have quotes also. I don't have anecdotes also. What I will write there? I can write after prelims also. Let me finish the syllabus first, then I will start writing essays. This all thing come, and it came in my mind initially, and I didn't write the essays. But that's today, after these attempts, what I can say to you is that I was wrong. To be honest, and that you can see with my results also. It's not like I got very low marks, but I had the potential to score more. In the first attempt, I scored 103 or 105 only. In 2022, I got 116. That is still till now that is the highest only. 116 for me. And you can score more, 130, 135. And essay is a subject where people have scored 163 also. 163. Cannot imagine the importance of 163. If you see the total marks you can get, average around 110 in GS2, GS1. That's a very high. Generally, they are not giving around 100. Take 100. In GS2, you can get 110. You get more. Here, you can get on an average 90 around. These three are going to give you total. The range of marks with a lot of efforts also. You can take this from 100 to around 115, 110, 115. This you can take to 120. This you can take to 105. This was the highest last year. The previous years. You can check it. Toppers marks. But essay, people are scoring 140. Highest score Vikram Grewal sir. He scored 163. Right. This is about the essay. So here average marks are more. So my score, despite 116, it was not up to mark. It should be around 120. 116 was okay. That was okay. Right. Ethics, Visakha Yadav ma'am. Her score was around 161, I think. Ethics. And average here also till now my highest score has been in essay and ethics only. GS2 always my score first attempt it was around 105, next 110 like this score. GS one, the first attempt was 73. Second, I think I got 90. I mean the first mains and second mains. First mains GS3 was 69. The next time I got 85. So the range of marks are very different. GS and the essay and ethics. But if you'll ask me where you gave more efforts, definitely I have given more effort here, like you are also doing. But the output where I have got more with less effort, here the range 116, 113. Here the output I have got more without little effort. Today when I think that, and that was the reason, I'm not just saying that you should write. I have done that this time. I have written around 14 essays, so 7 tests. I have written 7 tests for ethics. GS1 I have written 4 tests, GS2 3 tests and GS3 3 tests. Why I have done that? Because I got this realization with my mistake that these are required things, and that's what UPSC is giving marks. That's where wherever they are giving, that requires the effort. Right. So that was the thing, and I had that ignorance also, like okay, I will be able to write. I am an ethical person, so I will be writing ethicals. But being ethical or writing ethicals are different. That is proven by Pooja Kadekar. Her score of ethics was 125. Now you tell me, if you think like you are ethical, you will be able to score very good marks in ethics. Is it possible? Possible. Only if you are ethical and you are writing ethical also. Both are different. Being ethical is okay, but to write ethical, you need to do one thing in between. What is that? What is that? Huh? You may be a very good person, very kind, you are very empathetic towards the service. Actually, you are not here just to get crores of dowry or just to get the power or those things. You are here actually to serve people. Then being ethical is not enough. You have to write ethical. Then only you will be able to tell the examiner that I am ethical. So in between, the gap is practice. Practice to write your ethicality in the paper. Now, suppose the question is on integrity. I write example like I went to have one to have breakfast. That I ate idli, but I forgot to pay 30 rupees. After 3 days, I remember that I had not paid, so I went back and paid 30 rupees. This you can experience, but without experience also you can remember. Just create this and write there. How one will differentiate whether you are saying true or false? But suppose I am ethical, I have done that. I went there and paid 30 rupees, but I have not practiced to write. Whenever the question of honesty is coming, I am not able to write that. I won't get marks. But since you have prepared the list of example which you are going to use whenever the question is coming on honesty, and you have practiced that by writing the test, despite you have not done, not repaid that 30 rupees, you are writing that, you will get the marks. So the gap between being ethical and writing ethical is the practice, and that I have not done. So despite I had a lot of examples from the field, I have worked a lot in the field 4 years. I could not use them in my answers. Then how the examiner will know that I am ethical? You're getting it? So all things comes is this one, answer writing, practice, these things are important, and that was the gap, and that's why you see that reflects in the mark. And that is the message I want to give, that please don't ignore. I'm not telling you to read essay only, ethics only. No, that much is not required. But don't completely ignore this subject, these two subjects. These are very important subjects, and that's why people say EEO. This is the one which will take you to the rank. Ethics essay and 2 optionals. Optional paper 1 and optional paper 2. These are the areas where you get the marks. Okay, this was about the importance of ethics. Now, the major problem what I have observed is that writing paragraphs. Let me give a microstructure of one paragraph. How you write a paragraph. See, any paragraph should start with a para statement. Para statement. Para statement means here you give the argument. Here you give your argument. First, there should be one line which will give you will give an argument. Then the second thing comes is that justification. The second line will be the justification. You have to justify your argument. This can be one example, this can be data, this can be quote, this can be the any kind of maybe philosophy. You can talk about any book name, any personality, article of constitution, anything. Basically, you are making an argument. You are saying that, for example, truth knows no color. Na? We can say that the truth I'm saying that the truth goes beyond any kind of gender discrimination. If I'm saying that, that's some argument I'm making. So that will be my statement, the introductory statement of the paragraph. I'm talking about each paragraph. Every paragraph should start with one argument, including your connecting line. Here, definitely there should be one connecting phrase or statement or sentence or word. With this, there should be one argument. The first line of your paragraph should be your argument. What you are trying to say? I am saying that truth knows no color means that I will say that the truth goes beyond any kind of gender discrimination. Or I am saying that it is truth is important not only for the personal but also the whole society. Like that, I am making one argument. Let's say. Then there should be the next line in this paragraph should be the justification. Then third should be the conclusion. So it is also like the writing one answer. Intro, body, conclusion. Sorry, intro, justification and the conclusion. In the conclusion, what you write? You link the argument, this justification with again the essay topic. I'll show you the example now. Basically, if I'm saying that the opening the school leads to the more equality in the society. That's my argument. Right? So I will justify that. Through education, now we have achieved more equality as per the ASER report. That is the justification I give. How I will conclude? Hence, we can say that by bringing equality through education, we are closing the door of prison of inequality. So that is the conclusion I am making through this argument, justified, again linking to essay topic. Keep doing this. Every paragraph should be containing in the body part statement, one justification, any kind of value addition, concluding, linking with the topic. That is, if you are trying to be little mechanical here. See, if you are good in writing, you don't need these things. It will come naturally. But those who find it difficult to write long essays, adopt one framework. That's what I was talking about. Adopt a framework. Okay, every paragraph, I will start with the argument. I will say that this is happening. I will justify it. I will link again to the essay topic. Done. Write each paragraph like that. You can observe that in the these essays. For example, let's talk about this. See here. Not only at the national level but also at the global level, importance of education greatly recognized. This is the statement I am making. Then it is evident in the adoption of the right to education as a human right under the United Nations Human Rights. This is a justification. This is the statement I am making in the first line. This is the thing I am justifying, and then here I have not written. See again, as a universal and the quality education. Here I have not given the concluding line because see, these are not mandatory. These are not mandatory things like every argument you can make, because there I have not made. But initially you have seen that in many I link that. See here. Again, linking with the prison, linking with the core essay topic. When you do that concluding line, linking with the essay topic, that helps in two ways. One, you are concluding every paragraph and linking that with the essay. That shows that you are not deviating from the essay. So three things remember in every paragraph: introduce, give the justification, conclude it by linking with the topic. If you are maintaining that, and remember, this is not necessary that every paragraph you are doing. Somewhere you can skip also, right? So that way you write the paragraph. To write the body, write some key things. It should be there. I have mentioned it again and again, but it should be there in your essay. First, one paragraph, one argument. Remember, one paragraph, one para, one argument. It means when you are talking about society, talk about society. Don't bring the individual there. One paragraph, one argument. This is very important. Like don't deviate. Like within one paragraph you are bringing individual also, society also, national also. No, one. Second is it should be multidimensional. Multidimensional. It should be multidimensional essay. That I told you, like how to bring the multidimensionality by thinking the keywords in the different dimensions. Third, these multidimensional should be substantiated with current examples. The examples should be current one, not only the historical. There should be the current example which are the examiner is aware of. Recent thing. There should be philosophical background. There should be philosophical background. This philosophy should be Indian as well as Western philosophy. There should be counter argument. Counter argument should be there in an essay. Start and end with same story. Last thing is conclusion. Conclusion contains three things. One is the summary. Summary paragraph. Summary means overall what you are trying to say. Overall what you have said in the essay. That should be the summary. The key points only. Like as we have seen, for example, that education all of thing we have seen. No? So there what we have talked that okay, education is if we are opening the door of schools, it is leading towards more individual freedom as well as that the social inclusivity, national level development, and as well as the global harmony. However, to achieve this, there are certain blockages. Removing such blockages can actually lead us to open the doors of schools and ultimately lead us towards removing all kinds of prison from our world and our lives. That is the summary basically, isn't it? The whole essay is talking about that one. Now, so that will be the summary paragraph. We are summarizing one. Second thing, so what? This question you have to tell. So what? Basically, when you are saying that this is happening, what actually you want to say personally? What I want there? What I want that there should be in every school. Not only opening the school is enough, but also ensuring that there is quality education, ethical education, as well as something which is leading towards the more freedom that I want. Right? At the end, you use some quote, ending with some quote, some you can say the catchy phrase, and the ending with the beginning anecdote or quote. You know that, linking the first and last, right? So this would be the conclusion. These three paragraphs, small paragraph, 1.5 page or 1 page. Okay, so this was all about the essay writing. See, more lectures are not required here. Now what is required is that whatever you have got it, practice it. You will learn more things, more innovative things, more you will be able to write more. Essay we write, how many essay we write total in the UPSC exam? Wrong. 4 essays. 2 in essay paper and 2 in compulsory papers, English and whatever language. So, but there the difference between essay here and there, you know what's the difference? Qualifying, okay, that is qualifying only, but how you will write? Will you write the similar essay or what? You will be careful. What is that? What they want to test in the both? Language. That's the language. So there, what quote you are writing, what data you are writing does not matter. What matters is how well you have written in terms of language, English. How better are you using the comma properly? Are you using the sentences, making the sentences properly? That will be tested. So there, don't try to write the essay which is very difficult, because that essay will be evaluated by the English professors. So what they will see? Grammar, spellings. Here it will be evaluated by the experts in the subjects, not the English professors. So both are different, right? But essay anyhow you have to write there. Now in the forest service also they have the essay writing, but that is also the part of English. So now I have to practice more on the spellings and those things. See, that essay in the CSC mains, that is not counted in our final mark, but in the forest mains it will be counted in the final marks. Paper will be similar. Forest mains and the English compulsory of our CSE mains are similar paper. But that marks will be counted in the final merit. But this not. So recently I was reading about this precise writing and this. The first time I know that it is called as the precise, not precise. So I was reading about it. Then I knew that okay, precise writing should be written like this. Okay, essays they see like this and other thing, because now we don't give that much importance to that, so we get passed. So yeah, that's the difference between both essays. Yeah, do you want this essay? Anyone? If you want, I will share this. You can read once again so that you get more clarity. And I request everyone to please on Sunday, I think test is there. Not test, but practice it. I will also write with you. Then I'll share my essay, but I will write more from English point of view so that I will also practice. Same essay I will also write, and we can then analyze the essay, how we are writing, where the gaps are in the next class. Then this essay writing is done. Whenever the test will be there, you just practice it and start building your skill. But continuously, one thing you have to do. Actually, I am not able to share my screen here. Otherwise, I can show that how I have created the notes of essay and ethics. Please don't prepare the essay and ethics separately. When you are preparing the notes, ethics and essay notes should be at the one place. Because in ethics also we use the similar content, philosophers, examples, and the quotes. Ethics also we use, here also we use. So same note you will use both time. So when I went for the essay writing, I revised that same note for ethics and the essay. Similarly, when I went for GS4 exam, in between that 12 PM and to that 2:30, we have to enter inside the hall half an hour before. Earlier it was 15 minutes. Now that Pooja Khadekar issue changed everything. I mean, now the form is also so difficult. Now they also have written that your photo should be. I mean, you should come to the exam hall exact similar, which you have given as a passport size photo. But it was not followed. But I became very serious about it. That was didn't follow. But that was written there. So things has become very difficult now. Especially there also when you go to the UPSC form, your document first is the document evaluation. Your all documents will be checked. Earlier UPSC was not that much strict. So if you have small issues also, they used to ignore. But now it's not. So please, if you're about to write next year or 2027, documents should be prepared properly, especially those who are having the caste certificate. I faced a lot of problem in caste certificate, OBC and EWS certificate. The dates are important there because you have to prepare that certificate every year. Remember that. I don't know whether you know about Divya Tanwar or not. You know about her? She is one of the topper actually. She got IPS from the EWS category. So next year she wrote again to become IAS. She got the rank. I think within around 100. She was about to get IAS, but she did not updated her EWS certificate. So she could not get IAS just because of that certificate. So that much serious it is. Remember, she will be having that regret throughout her life. She prepared for 1 year, but just because of that updation she did not make, she didn't qualify. She got the rank, but not the service. Now the thing is, I had not prepared. First of all, I thought like my state certificate will be acceptable. No, UPSC will give one format for that. In that format only, you have to prepare the certificate, whether it is the EWS or the OBC. State certificates are not acceptable. I had not prepared in 2022 interview. There, when I went to interview, they rejected my certificate. For some time I was like gone now. It was very difficult to compose myself before the interview. Thankfully, my interview was second last, so I had some time to calm myself. But that was really stressful period because of the certificate. So it has to be before the closing date of prelims examination. Before that, you should prepare that certificate. So please be careful about that. That is very important. So let me try if my tab is getting connected so that I can show the notes. That's very important. What I was trying to say is that you have to collect the facts. Only then you will be able to make your essay unique. If you are dependent on the notes and others, it will be like the similar. So when you read the newspaper, from there you have to collect some data, some quotes, specifically thinking about the essay and the ethics. So the notes will be similar. No, actually the Wi-Fi, they are not connected. That's it. Where is the Wi-Fi? It's there should be Wi-Fi, no? Anyone knows? Anyone having any doubt regarding that essay writing? It's showing Wi-Fi, but it's not showing here. Why? Let me send the document. Leave. I'll try later. Okay. See, next we are done with this essay writing. Next class, not now, maybe after some time, will be on the MCQ solving. I mean, the how to solve prelims MCQs. That would be the next, and after that we will do this answer writing thing. But before that, the MCQ solving is also very important, because now you are writing the MCQ test weekly, but there you have to apply that like the how to solve them, especially using the common sense and this reasoning, using some reasoning. For example, if you see this year paper, should we close the class, or what I'm trying to do is the 2025 prelims paper. I'll see some 4-5 questions. Should I continue or should we close? Because I'm done with this. Continue. One thing before this, Let me download this first. Yes, this is paper 1. We'll solve this only. You may not be aware about many concepts. That is not required also. I'm not here to tell you that what concepts you know or not. I'm going to tell if you don't know anything, then also how you can solve. You can't solve everything, definitely. I'm not here to tell you now you don't have to read only, just common sense is enough. No. It's see, the thing is, when we have the 100 question, there will be around 50 question. When you are well prepared, well prepared, there will be 40 to 50 question you will be able to solve with your knowledge. But rest is not possible. The nature of the questions are such that it's very difficult to solve. Despite I'm telling those 4-5 attempts, it's not possible to solve all the things. Now, what change I have made? See, every time I have cleared prelims, whether it's 2021, 2022, 2023, 2025, 2024 I didn't. So, I have always cleared CAS E-Prelims, that is the civil services. Since my optional is agriculture, I am eligible, everyone is eligible, but I have to read only one option. Because agriculture optional you can take, but you can't take philosophy or political science as optional in forest service. If you are, then also you are opting, when you apply for prelims examination, there you have to opt whether you want to apply only for CSE or both CSE plus forest. So when you apply for the forest also, you have to choose 2 optional which are technical, because forest service is a technical service. So they want you to choose certain subjects, for example, physics, maths, agriculture, botany, zoology, these kind of subjects are there, forestry, these kind of subjects. Suppose your optional is anthropology. You can't write forest mains with anthropology option. You have to choose other option. So in between the this mains and the next mains, you have to study that another option. That way you can give. It's not you are ineligible. Because I have heard from some students, sir, I am not from engineering background, so I can't give this exam. No, that's not true. Even if you have done BA or BSc, anything, you can give. Anyone can give. But optional should be the technical option. Okay, that is the issue here I was facing is that I was not able to clear the cutoff of forest. So why? Because my score, I used to solve, my score were between around 90 to 100. I was not able to cross that cutoff, some 1 mark, half mark or 2 mark, sometimes 5 mark, 10 mark also. How many, the change I have made, this attempt, why I cleared this prelims, what I feel, maybe the other reason also, but I have not prepared more. Because I was that time, just before 1 month of prelims, I was teaching also. So I was not full time studying. I studied for 1 month, May month only. What change I have made? This year I solved 85 questions, number of questions. My score was 91. That year somehow I passed. 22, not 88, sorry, 85, this is 85. 22 I solved 86 questions. Here also the score was around 96 or something. 2023 I solved, this was toughest paper, 83 only. And my score was 89. 2025 I solved 99 questions. And I'm not joking. So my paper still I am having. I solved 99. Today also I regret why I left that one question. It was not like I knew all those questions. But I decided this time that I'll go for them. And it was not a random. How can I, after giving 2 interviews, 3 mains, how can I risk this much? It was not like the random risk. It was calculated risk. It was not without practice. It was not without talking with the other friends or who have cleared this. I know my friends who solve even 100 question, 96 question and they clear both. The point here is that it may not be true, but what I have heard that I am trying to tell you is that sometimes even UPSC doesn't know what is right answer. That's why UPSC have to remove some questions. You know that, right? 3 questions removed from the calculation, 2 questions removed, 4 questions removed, like that. Why UPSC have to remove? Because the nature of the questions are such that it's not like where is the Taj Mahal situated. It's one answer. But the questions are not like that. Questions are statements which have the multiple interpretations. If the situation is like that, if you are coming here by solving 70 questions and saying that, sir, I am 100% sure, how can you be sure when the UPSC in itself is not sure? So it's very difficult to be sure with the limited number of questions. And if you want to clear at least the forest, you can clear with this civil services prelims. But if you want to clear the forest, you have to attempt more. You have to attempt more. That is my learning, and I'm not telling just because I've heard. I have practiced that in my tests, all tests which I have written. 16 tests I wrote that before prelims. I practiced that. I solved all 100 questions, all Abhyas tests, whatever test I wrote, just to see whether it's working or not. And secondly, I spoke with people, and then I decided I will take this risk. I took it, and you know the result. Right, so that I'm telling this. I have some of you know me. Like I was teaching in Vijayawada. I have never told this, like solve all 100 questions or the more than 90 questions. Never told this. But because I have never implemented, how can I tell without implementing myself? Today I am telling this because I have implemented it and I saw the result. Right? You also should not implement just because I am telling. What I want you to do is that practice in your test. Try it. Try it. But this, since I know only 40-50, from going from 50 to 99, you need to learn certain methods of solving the MCQs. You can't just go and Jai Mata did this, Jai Mata did this, okay, this. No, you can't do that. You need to learn how to read the statement, how to solve them. Then only you can go for this. Before knowing that, if you are trying to do that, it will be the counterproductive. And that is the objective. I requested Ram sir also, like I want some classes on this MCQ solving, because this is very important. If you are just reading and if you go to exam hall, you won't be able to solve more than 60-70. I can guarantee that. But that won't help you to clear. Right? It is not, see, in UPSC there is no one formula. Again, I'm telling you. It can work. 70 question people are solving 70 questions and they are clearing also. It's not like that they are not clearing. But most of the people are following this, and you also practice and then see. If not working, then solve just less number of questions. But one thing for sure, if you're not going beyond 90, that's okay. But one thing for sure, don't come after the out of the exam hall solving less than 80. That I can tell you here with conviction. If you are not risking for the more than 90, that's okay, because that you are in the initial phase. But less than 80 is not acceptable at all. That's not going to help you to clear. 80 is minimum. Okay, more than 90 is you have to analyze how it's working, and we will help you also, like during the mentorship, we'll help you like how to increase your number of attempts. Okay, let's try to see some of the questions which you can solve with the knowledge, as well as some of them is the common sense. See, common sense does not mean that you don't need knowledge, because to use the common sense also you need certain knowledge, then only you can use that. For example, first question, I won't skip the questions. So let's try to see question. Everything cannot be solved through the common sense. See the first question. I don't know which set it is. It was not in my side. It was the science tech. All drones can land or something was there questions. I remember. So this first question, it's the economy question. And in economy, last year in degree finally, I taught that security market. There we have discussed these all four terms, like the bond, stock, hedge fund, venture funds. Basically, question is asking which among the following are treated as alternative investment fund. Now, here you may not be knowing about alternative investment fund, what it is, bond, stock, and these all things. But still, if you see the question, at least you know what is stock. Right? Share market, everybody knows these days. Some of you might have purchased some shares also. Like that is called a stock, we know. Bond also, bond is a kind of loan. You gave me 1 lakh I gave you one bond signing, I will repay you after 1 year. That's the bond. Simple, right? So here hedge fund and venture fund, these two are also the term. Venture fund is that like I am the one, C wants to fund, C is having the company, C wants to fund, C won't give directly to her, C will give to me, I will see which company I will invest. So I am a venture capital. I get the money from the investors and I invest in others, right? What is bond? C is directly giving money to this company and they are giving her what? Bond. Share, what is share? C directly paying them, C is giving one share of her company, right? Hedge fund is also like that, like to protect the funds. Now with this understanding, this is a simple understanding. This is not like the very complex topics. With this understanding, tell me, it is saying the alternative investment fund. It's not direct fund. This is indirect fund basically. Alternative. What is alternative? Bond is alternative or direct funding? Directly you are transacting. Share is direct. Venture capital? Indirect. I am taking from her and giving her. This is indirect funding. Right? Hedge funding is also kind of indirect funding. Right? I may be wrong. What I'm just analyzing with the common sense. I'm not exactly know about, let's say, about hedge fund, venture fund. I may be wrong. But you have to take this risk at this point. That's my point here to tell. I'm here not trying to teach you economy that you will get the class. But how I'm using my common sense, okay, it is saying I also don't know what is alternative investment fund, let's say. But definitely with this word I can understand with my common sense that it is alternative, means other than normal funding. Then only it is alternative, na? Other than the normal funding. These are the normal funding, bond and stock. I hear a lot. But venture capital, I know that much that it is indirect funding. So I can say that this is wrong and these two are right. That means if one is wrong, all four cannot be the answer. If two are right, that means only one cannot be the answer. Now only three and only two. Here you should definitely go for one. Whether you know from here or not doesn't matter. You have the 50% probability that you are going to get the right answer. Whether it is B or C. You should go for it. Don't think here. Right? So that way you have to see the question. See the second question. It is saying which among the following are the sources of income for the Reserve Bank of India? From where the Reserve Bank of India get the money? Let's say you have not covered the Reserve Bank of India. Now you tell me here see the fourth point. Buying and selling government bonds, buying and selling foreign currency, pension fund management, lending to private company. Okay, see, lending to private company. Do RBI lend to private company? Can Sarat Chandra IAS Academy go to the RBI and tell me like give 1 crore loan? Possible? No, right? It's the bank who can lend from the RBI and we can borrow only from bank. So at least you can eliminate 4. Without knowledge also, that much you have to. My point is, here, don't think. People, I know my students who, what they do, I have not read this, they'll skip it. That's not that. This is GS, General Studies. That means something which generally a normal person, educated person should know. So here the common sense, you have not covered RBI functions or the income, but at least you know that RBI does not lend to Tata, Birla, these people. That much you know definitely, right? That much you should know. Right? So this 4 you can definitely eliminate. If you eliminated 4, you got again 2. Either option 1 or option D. And I always say to students, never in the UPSC, never select. Always eliminate. What cannot be the answer? Before selecting, it should always be eliminating. Remember that. Always eliminate. This cannot be. This cannot be. Then other thing you need to know 1 and 2 definitely correct. They give buying and selling government bonds. They buy and sell. Buying and selling foreign currency. You know, they keep the reserve. 1 and 2 are definitely correct. And from here also you don't have to read. Once you eliminated 4, 1 and 2 are definitely correct. You just need to know the 5th one. Printing and distributing currency notes. Now when the RBI prints and distribute the currency notes, do they get income? It's a kind of liability. There is expenditure. When they print the notes, who bears the money of that printing? RBI. right? So that is the kind of knowledge wala part, but here that much at least you can eliminate. See, this question requires the specific knowledge because they may make it very complicated. Generally they give 2 factors, they have given 3 factors. So here you need to know more specifically. This question was difficult to solve. I think this was the question I left. I don't remember that exactly, but that was the question. Okay, see this question, 6th question. India has joined the Mineral Security Partnership as a member. Okay, who knows? India joins a lot of initiatives. Who knows? India is a resource-rich country in all the 30 critical minerals that it has identified. This I can say that it's not possible. Do we have all 30? That is the resource-rich, that too. Is it possible? All 30 critical minerals, you are resource-rich. Then why you are importing from China? Right? Not possible. Definitely you can eliminate option 2. Eliminate option 2. Option 2. Sorry, option. What's the answer? C. Do you need to read this? Do you need knowledge for this question? No. Right? Not required. What is the 5th question? See the first statement. In India, income from allied agricultural activities like poultry farming and wool rearing in rural area is exempted from any tax. What do you think? See, agriculture is generally exempted from tax, but exempted from tax of union tax. There may be some state, any state, who may be applying any kind of tax. How do you sure with it? See, I may be wrong here. There may be the possibility that all state, no local government. See here, not said here. See, that's why I say that read the line carefully. Here it is said in India, income from the allied agricultural activities like this in rural areas is exempted from any tax. Here it has not said whether it is union tax, state tax or local body tax. What if in the Andhra Pradesh one village is applying a kind of tax on the poultry? How UPSC will justify then that this is wrong or right? You think about it, huh? Has they applied? If they have applied, there is no union tax, union income tax, then it must be right also. But they have kept it open. That means there can be some local tax, local body, panchayat can also apply tax, right? Under the Article 243, they can apply it. So there is possibility that in some village in Jammu and Kashmir they are applying some tax. How can you be sure? So definitely option 1, as per the common understanding, should be wrong. So if option 1 is wrong, then it should be D. Because it's saying that the both statement 1 and 2 are correct, wrong. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, wrong. Statement 1 is correct, wrong. Statement 2 is not correct. Option D. I have attempted this option D, like this one. How will you study like whether there is tax, that too in poultry and that the wool rearing? Will anyone will study this? Tell me. Any coaching institute will teach this? No, that's not possible. They are asking that to wool rearing and the poultry. We generally read, okay, agriculture, there is no taxation. Income tax is not there. That's why I am planning to go for agriculture if I won't give. You can earn and you don't have to pay tax. That was a joke. But yeah, that much we know. But you can't study that much, that deep. It's not possible. And then you will say that if you leave this kind of question, just thinking that I don't know, and you won't use your common sense, then it would be difficult. That's all. See here, in India, rural agriculture land is not considered as a capital asset under the provision of the Income Tax Act. That is the point I wanted to say. If you read these two statements, this is a general statement, very generalized statement, but this is very specific statement. Here they have mentioned the act. You see the UPSC, how UPSC wants you to think. They don't want you to know everything. At least you should know that as per this act. Yes, I told na, as income tax, this is a central act. There is no income tax on the and the capital tax on the agricultural. If they will apply, think like this. If they apply tax on the capital asset under on the rural agricultural land, that to agricultural land, what will happen in the country? You saw 3 farm laws government brought. What happened? Protest. Then they had to repeal. If they apply this kind of tax, what will happen? Whole India, rural area, farmers will start protesting. It's practically not possible. So it's saying that not considered. Yes, it's not considered. If they will consider, there will be protest. Already agriculture in distress. If they apply this kind of tax, then what farmer will do? If I have 5 acres of land, now I have to pay tax on that land, whether I am cultivating or not cultivating. Unfair also, right? So it's common sense also says it's right. It's not considered. But the statement language also, if you see, na, here it's a general statement, but here very specific statement. They have mentioned the act. Here they have not mentioned act. Right? So these are the ways you have to think, like the at least some questions from if you want to go beyond 50, you have to think like this. That was the point. And in coming classes, we'll see this kind of approach, and these are more applicable in the UPSC PYQs. So we will do more UPSC PYQs that will help. Okay. Thank you so much for the discussion.